Don't look that way, because we don't want no stalkers on the internet to see him dead baby. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It is finally time for us to recap House of the Dragon, episode 4, The Red Dragon and the Goals. Episode 4 opens with Daemon roaming around Harrenhal. He ends up in a throne room that resembles the one at King's Landing, where he sees a young Rhaenyra sitting on the Iron Throne, speaking to him in High Valyrian. He can't really understand her. It sounds like he's underwater, but she accuses him of setting out to destroy her, all because his brother loved her more than him. Daemon, unable to process his emotion, decides to chop her head off as a coping mechanism. Her decapitated head continues to speak to him, telling him that there has been a raven, which turns out to actually be the voice of Simon Strong once Daemon realizes he was in a dream and he's finally awake. The message from the raven informs them that Sir Criston and his men have taken Rosby and Stokeworth without a fight. They switch up because of what has happened with Jaehaerys. Get those two mixed up. Jaehaerys is the little baby. Now they have 2 more armies in their pocket ready to come rain terror on that ass. Daemon meets up with Oscar Tully, the grandson of the incapacitated Grover Tully. He means to have Oscar unite his vassals under his banner, but Oscar is powerless while his grandfather is still alive, and he a baby. A bumbling, stumbling one at that. Them people ain't finna listen to that boy. Come on. Daemon suggests Oscar put a pillow over Grover's head, but Oscar loves his granddaddy. And the look on Simon's face when Daemon suggested. I was in tears. I mean, y'all are at war. Why does no one seem to understand? Frustrated, Daemon shades their whole damn clan, calling them a fish with no head, and demands to speak to the leader of the Blackwoods. In the next scene, we see Rhaenys pull up on Alan, which starts out normal enough, I guess, with her thanking him for saving Corlys, but this quickly goes left. When she starts touching this man's face, talking about she didn't expect him to be so fine. Child, ew, problematic white lady. Get your fucking hands off his face. Talking about your mama must have been so beautiful, and probably was. But can't nothing make me hate Rhaenys, so I forgive her. Her husband did her dirty and she working through it, okay? Thank goodness. Corlys breaks it up by telling Alan to get back to work. Rhaenys confronts Corlys about not telling her specifically who saved him. And she tells him she knows that he's his bastard and presses him to raise Alan's rank for what he's done. And, you know, that's why I fucking love this lady. She lets Corlys know that she's going back to Dragonstone to help the kids with the council in Rhaenyra's absence. In the next scene, we see Grandmeister Orwyle bring Alicent some misoprostol tea, acting like it's not for her. She asks him if he thinks Viserys meant for Aegon to be king. And like a real one, Orwell like, bitch, I couldn't know that. That man didn't talk to me about stuff like that. Girl, shut up. You think I'm about to tell your treacherous ass the truth while you standing here all sickly pretending this tea ain't for you? Back at Dragonstone, Baela, Jaehaerys, and Rhaenys are trying to keep the council in check, and things start getting spicy until Corlys walks in, getting everybody to calm down talking to his wife sideways. Next, we see Sir Criston at Duskendale, forcing their army to either bend the knee or die, which Lord Gunther Darkland refuses, so they do what it do. Then we see Aegon throwing a tantrum in front of his small council. He's upset that Daemon got to Harrenhal before them, but Lord Larys informs him that Harrenhal isn't the prize he thinks it is, and that Daemon will be destroyed by that place. As Aegon slowly starts to realize his council is making moves without him, Aemon steps up and explains the path he and Sir Criston have laid out, which is to cut off Dragonstone by laying siege to the smaller castles around it. Aegon attempts to regain control by pointing out that Aemon is plotting without his consent, which is treason, by the way. But, you know, Aemon flips it by addressing him in High Valyrian, which we find out Aegon, you know, that baby, he don't sprechen the Deutschen.
Nuke Goston Bivilus Segiton Bilivazni.
And he basically humiliates Aegon in the way that he'd attempted to humiliate Aemon in the brothel. But look whose balls is swinging now! You see what the affection of a good mother figure prostitute will do for you? Aemon is running this shit now, big brother. This was my favorite scene of the episode. It definitely unlocked some new toxic traits in myself. Forgive me, I am imperfect. The way he kept saying, look, baby, we all know you a real star and the one that I truly love, okay? These other characters don't mean shit to me. I'm just having a temporary lapse of insanity. That's all this is. Alicent, all sickly and sweaty from the active termination she's experiencing, gets approached by Larys, who notices her tea. She plays it off as if she's experiencing discomfort from overeating, but that doesn't stop old Larys from pushing boundaries. What? Isn't he afraid of her? Does she not have enough power to get him fucked up? You're the Queen Dowager. Off with his head, sis. He do too much. I hate Alicent, but sis should be able to get a little D here and there, you know? Anyway, Larys starts pressing her about Sir Chris and being at war and potentially dying. Man, she is just sweating and suffering. I know her guts are in shambles, and Larys just keeps going like, bro, get that lady 50 feet, please. You're making me feel sorry for Alicent? Really? Larys asks Alicent if she thinks Viserys' love of history is what made him change his mind, and she responds,
Rhaenyra's supporters will believe what they wish, and so will Aegon's. The war will be fought, many will die, and the victor will eventually ascend the throne. The significance of Viserys' intentions died with him.
she don't give a fuck. She don't give a fuck about the countless lives she's sacrificing with her lie. Like, I truly hate this hoe. In the next scene, we see Daemon continuing to lose his mind in Harrenhal, where he is chasing someone who looks like himself, but with an eye patch like Aemon. Now, does that mean he sees himself in Aemon or something? He ends up in the kitchen, I guess, with Alice, who's brewing something that looks absolutely fucked up. She jokes and tells him that she's actually a barn owl forced to live in human form, and I 100% believe it. She is not joking. She's being so serious. She starts talking spicy to him about his jealousy towards Rhaenyra. Then she hands him the drink she was making, and he actually drinks. Now, he's suddenly sitting down with the leader of the Blackwoods, who he doesn't remember summoning, when suddenly he sees a vision of Laena sidetracking him once again and making him look crazy in front of everybody. But the Blackwood dude is about that life and wants to march with him still. Like, he's a little off his rocker, but let's go do what it do. Next, we see Aegon sitting with his council. He is still hot from Aemon making him look incompetent. He starts snapping at them for boring him before he excuses himself. He finds his mother and complains to her about the council not seeking his thoughts, and Alicent laughs, asking what thoughts he would have. She successfully pulls back the veil and informs him that he's just a figurehead and the crown does not give him wisdom, and he just needs to sit back and shut the fuck up while the smarter folks in the room get the real work done. Sir Criston readies his men to hit their newest target, Rook's Rest, during daylight as Rhaenyra finally returns home. Lord Commander Stefan Darkland learns about his father being killed before Jacaerys lays in on his mama for going MIA. She apologizes and says she had to make sure there was no peaceful way to move forward before resorting to violence, but that she now sees violence is the only option. She decides to send Rhaenys to confront Sir Cole and his men at Rook's Rest. And this is when my delusion starts to kick in, because there's no way Rhaenys is gonna die. She's the only reason I watched this show. Why would the writers kill off such titular characters? They wouldn't do that to me. They couldn't do In the next scene, we see Aegon doing what else but being a brat, knocking a vase over. It appears he and Rhaenys are readying their dragons for flight. While this is going on, the most infuriating part of this episode is happening, where Rhaenyra is telling Jacaerys that she has this secret to tell him that her father told her, and I guess every ruler before them told the next. She goes into this long-ass monologue only to never give us the damn secret. So the plan was to march during the day because they knew Rhaenyra would send a dragon to defend Rookrest. And once the dragon was to arrive, Sir Criston would signal for Aemon, who was lying in wait with Vhagar, who would jump in and take out whatever dragon Rhaenyra sent out. But before Aemon could get Vhagar's slow-moving big ol' ass off the ground, he sees Aegon and Sunfire flying towards the battle and decides to hang back for a second. Meleys starts fucking Sunfire up, but then Vhagar jumps in. Aegon is super happy at first, but he soon realizes Aemon is gunning for him. Vhagar flames Sunfire, sending Aegon to his death and allowing Meleys and Rhaenys to get away. But Rhaenys doesn't want to go home. Not the way I was pleading for her to do so many times. But you know, she can't actually hear me. These people aren't real, and what's gonna happen was filmed years ago, and it's gonna happen the way they wrote it and filmed it to happen. And no amount of hollering at the television at 10 o'clock at night is going to change that. This isn't easy for me to come to grips with, but I'm coming to it. So she turns around and has Meleys attack Vhagar when they weren't even checking for y'all. Aemon was on his way to make sure Aegon was good and dead. They get a decent lick in, but Vhagar is still very much in the game, snatching Meleys up by the neck, killing them and Rhaenys. Because of course I can't have shit. Cole wakes up on the battleground and goes to find where Aegon crashed, only to find Aemon standing above him with his sword out, getting ready to kill his ass. He manages to stop him, but he doesn't look to be in that great of shape, you know? We didn't get a great look at him, but that fool looked dead, if not close to it. And that is how episode 4 comes to an end. I think this was my favorite episode so far. I had several emotional outbursts. Several. I would love to talk to you guys more about this episode, but I just heard the garage open, which means my kids is home. Alright, you guys, that's all I have for you guys this week. I still have not filmed my reaction to The Boys. I haven't even watched the latest episode of The Boys, but I will have that out to you guys soon. So look out for that, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Ela gosta dos maluca porque nós é vivido.